It is 1st of June, so I thought I would start my June spinning vlog here. I've just recorded the um, final bit for my May spinning vlog. So in May, I wanted to spin this fibre. I had a braid from, let me just see what it is. It is Southdown fibre, 120 grams from Hilltop Cloud. I kind of have set myself kind of like a goal to try and spin 100 grams a month, like a complete 100 gram skein. But I was away a lot in May. I went to Norway for 13 days and then I was home for 1 day and then I went to Wales for 3 days. So I didn't have a ton of uh, time to spin. I didn't go to my local spinning group in May because it was a day after I went to Norway. That is the problem with things that are only on once a month. If you miss it, you miss a lot. I am hoping to go this month. So my local spinning group is next week, next weekend, and I am teaching on Friday, and then I'm hoping to go to the spinning group on Saturday, and then we go on holiday on Monday. So I'm hoping to go, but we'll have to see how this week kind of turns out and what else we have to do next weekend. Anyway, if you are new here, my name is Anniken. I design knitting patterns. I teach knitting workshops online and in person, and I sell yarn through my website, YarnAddict.co.uk. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. So I normally post knitting content, occasional crochet, and I do product reviews. I do a podcast every week, and I talk about my designs and my patterns. I design a lot of magazines and self-published patterns and teach a lot of workshops. So if you come here because of the spinning content, that is the rest of what I do. I decided at the beginning of the year that I would try and get back into spinning. I haven't touched my spinning wheel for, I did work it out, it's 10 years? I can't remember. I did work it out. Might be slightly less than that. But I haven't spun for a long time. I have a Major Craft little gem, lovely wheel. Got it for my 40th birthday from my parents, and that's 15 years ago. And I decided to get back into spinning beginning of this year, and I didn't actually do anything about it till April. And so April, I spun my first skein of fibre, which I actually have here. It was the fibre that I was in the process of spinning when I gave up spinning. I got rid of all the old fibre and just spun what I had left, and quite frankly, this is not good, and the final yarn does not have enough twists in it. I should have pulled run it through my wheel again to add more twist to it, but I didn't. So that's not good. But I normally post knitting content, but I've decided to try and encourage myself to get back into spinning and to stick with it, to do one spinning vlog a month. But I've spun the first half of this 120 gram braid of fibre in May, and that is the first bobbin. I finished it on the last day of May. It is now the 1st of June, and I'm going to start spinning this. I actually did start yesterday. I spun just a little tiny bit. So what I did with this braid was I undid the braid, I divided it in half. I just pulled it apart in the middle. I didn't weigh it or anything. I just eyeballed it, and then I pulled it off into shorter chunks like this, and then I just split those into thinner sections, sometimes 4 or 5 sections, sometimes 3 sections, and then I just spin it. I'm not paying any attention to color placement or anything like that. I'm just spinning it and enjoying it and trying to get back into using my wheel, getting my techniques, getting back into being able to spin a fairly fine fibre. So that's what I'm doing. So hopefully I will be able to finish the rest of this month, and I would like to try and finish it and ply it this month, but I am going to be away for 2.5 weeks. So I don't know how much I'll get on. So I'll have like a week and a half, probably, no, a bit more than that, 2 weeks maybe, that I'm home this month, less than 2 weeks. So yeah, I'm not gonna have a ton of time for spinning. So if I can finish spinning this, then that will be, I'll be happy with that. Then I can always apply it next month, but we'll see how this month goes. It is now July, and I can't actually remember how much I filmed in June. I went on holiday on the 10th of June, and I guess I did spin a tiny bit before then. I'll show you how much in a minute. Not a lot. So I guess I maybe filmed something, but the June spinning vlog is not going to happen. It's going to be joined in with July. So it'll be a June-July spinning vlog. It is now, what's it called? Tour de Fleece. So every year in the spinning community online, there is a Tour de Fleece event, competition, I don't know, that runs alongside the Tour de France. So it runs from the same days as the Tour de France, which started on Sunday, I'm not sure. Anyway, it's not Tuesday and I haven't started spinning yet, so I have missed a few days. My goal was to spin every day. I think I've done Tour de Fleece before, I'm sure. Remember, if you watch my April spinning vlog, I have not spun for 10 years. I think it used to run on Ravelry. There was like a Ravelry group where it used to run. I don't know where it runs now, but somebody I follow on Twitter was saying, does anyone fancy doing Tour de Fleece, and should we just set up our own hashtag? So we're doing it on Twitter, and so far I've contributed nothing because I haven't spun anything. I'm not that worried about taking part in any kind of official group, really. I just wanted to do it as a way of trying to get back into spinning. I didn't go to my local spinning group in June either. I planned to go, but it was 2 days before our holiday and I just had too much to do. I'd been teaching, I think, the day before, and I had quite a lot of work I had to do before we went on holiday, so I didn't do anything. So this is the first bobbin that I spun on this fibre. So my goal is, I don't know when Tour de France finishes, but my goal is for July to finish spinning this fibre and plying it. I'm a bit nervous about the plying thing because my attempt at plying my kind of test skein that I spun in April was not very good. So I need to do a bit of reading up on plying, maybe watch some plying tutorials and get into it. I don't remember being that good at plying before either. So right, let me flick you over and show you what I'm actually achieved so far in June and July. It's not a lot. That is how much I spun in June. It's, I don't know, maybe an inch along my bobbin, and it is very thin. So like it's not like going out very fast. So yeah, I didn't really spin anything in June. I did spin a tiny bit, but that's not a lot. So let's get some spinning done. One problem I have, which I mentioned in my April vlog, I think, is that my spinning wheel is still making quite a clunky noise. When I went to the spinning group in April, beginning of May, I can't remember, April I think it was, I did speak to somebody who said she thinks that little gems tend to be a bit noisy, but there was somebody else apparently at the spinning group who knows a lot more about little gem spinning wheels. So this is a Major Craft little gem, and it's wrong way. It's very kind of clunky, and I've tried altering my foot position. I've tried spinning with shoes, without shoes. Doesn't seem to make any difference. So if you know anything about little gems and you know why it's making this clunky noise, I do remember from before when I was spinning that it was noisy. But if you know any tips to share with me, please share them in the comments. I've had a little bit of frustrating time with my spinning wheel recently. I haven't filmed anything since in July, beginning of July, I don't know. This was supposed to be a June and July spinning vlog. I did one spinning vlog in April, one in May, and I was going to try and do a monthly one, but we were away for a big chunk of June. And then in July, my wheel started playing up. It just wasn't moving around properly. When I was spinning, it was just not working properly, and I couldn't work out why. Anyway, I then didn't go to my spinning group in June because we were away. I didn't go in July because I guess we were away or something else came up. I can't remember. So anyway, I got my spinning wheel out the day before the last spinning group. The date it is 21st of August. So it's the second Saturday in August. I got it out the day before and I tried to spin on it and it was working okay. So I thought, great, got the spinning group. I'm determined I want to finish what I'm spinning before the end of August. I'd like to finish spinning it and plying it. I don't know whether that's going to happen because we're going on holiday. So that's why I kind of want to finish it before then. So I went to spinning group. I sat down, I got my wheel out, I started spinning and it was working fine till it wasn't working fine. Suddenly my lower drive band snapped. So the little gem has two drive bands. It has this upper one and then it has this lower one. When I was getting my wheel back into being used in January, I noticed that this upper one had snapped, so I knew I needed to get a new one of those. This lower one was still okay, but I ordered both. And then, so I ordered both, and then I didn't get my wheel out till April, and then or end of March maybe? No, I think it was April. And then I lost both of those dry bands. I couldn't find either of them, so I ordered a new one of these, but I didn't order another lower dry band because I thought that wasn't broken, that was still okay. And I've never changed the lower dry band, so I used that for 5 years before I gave up spinning 10 years ago. Then I've used it for, since April. Changing the top dry band is fairly easy because you just put it over the whatever these groovy things up here are and around here. So that's fairly easy. And then I got the spinning group and I started spinning, and I hadn't been spinning for more than maybe a few minutes. I want to say like less than half an hour, when suddenly the bottom drive band snapped. So I was like, oh, now what do I do? So I thought, well, I've got one at home because I'm sure I ordered one and I couldn't, I hadn't used it. I have a notice board in my office and I thought I'd pinned it on there. When I ordered this new drive band in April, a few weeks later, I found my original one. So I found the lower dry band and the upper dry band, and I thought I'd put them both on the wall in my office. I've got a cork notice board and I thought I'd just pin them on there so I'd find them easily. So I was at the knitting group, I jumped in the car, I drove home, I ran upstairs. It was only a long dry band, the upper dry band. It wasn't a lower one. And I was like, well, I know I got one because I'm pretty sure I didn't change it. And when I looked into how to change it, I knew I hadn't changed it. So anyway, I went back to the spinning group. We tried to fix my dry band, my low dry band, by somebody had a lighter and we tried to melt the two ends and like splice them back together. That didn't work. And then one lady said that she'd sewn her dry band back together. So we tried that. So let me show you what that looks like. So I don't know how easy it is to see it. I might be able to see better when I take it off actually. Can you see this mess here? Basically, we were trying to sew it back together. It didn't work. But I think it did work. It's holding it together, but the problem is it's still not, I still can't spin with it. It's still just slipping all the time. And when I came home from spinning group, I had a look online at a couple of Major Craft videos from, I think it's from the owners of the Major Craft company, specifically about a little gem. And I think what happens is that this is quite textured and this one that's on my wheel is a lot smoother. And I think with use, it just goes smoother and then I guess it just starts slipping and you don't have the grip. I also tried to take the lower dry band off and I thought, how on earth do I get it off? Because there's nothing here that comes apart. So I just took it off down here and up here and let it hang loose. And then I tried to get some string and tie around there, but I couldn't get it tight enough. So anyway, nothing works. In the end, I gave up and went home. And then I watched a couple of videos and I realized that I needed a tool to unscrew some bits of the side here and basically take this off in order to do this. So I watched a video and I needed I can't remember what these are called. I had a quick look online to see if I could find these for sale anywhere and I couldn't. So I got in touch with the company that I bought my wheel from originally and they said yes, they got them. I think it's £3 plus £1.50 shipping. My husband said we could try a DIY store, but we weren't sure exactly what size. So he said we could just buy a bunch of them. They're probably not that expensive, but I thought if I can get the specific one, that would be good. So I'm now going to see if I can take this apart, take this old dry band off, put the new dry band on and do a bit of spinning. This is not as easy as I thought it was, so I managed to get this off. First I took it off on the wrong side and I really struggled to loosen it, but I eventually managed to get it off. And then I realised it was the wrong side, so I put it back on again, then I got this off. But there's another little bit here I need to undo, and I just can't undo it, it's just too tight. Now my husband is working from home today, but he's in a meeting, so he can't take a break and come and help me. So I'm going to leave it for a minute. I've tried a towel to help me loosen this bit, but I just can't. I'm not even sure that I'm doing it the right way. No, I can't. So I'm going to have to take a break and go and do some knitting instead. I did finally manage to fix my spinning wheel. It wasn't as easy as I thought it was. A few screws I had to loosen, and when I put it back together, I put it on the floor and it wouldn't, the treadles wouldn't move around smoothly. And you know, on a bike, when you got, I don't know what they're called on here, but on the bike when you got the pedals, so these are the metal things underneath my treadles, and they have to kind of be, when you have them level, one has to be at the front and one has to be at the back. Well, mine were more like closer together rather than like that, so they were like, so anyway, it wasn't moving around properly. So when I spun the wheel manually with my hand, it was moving around, but when I was spinning it, when I was trying to treadle, it wasn't moving properly. So I've spun a little bit now, it's so much smoother. A lot of the problems I was having is probably down to this dry band being worn out, and it's so much better now. So I've spun for a little bit, and I'm going to do a bit more spinning before I get back to my deadline knitting. I apologise for the lighting and my slightly shiny look. It is the 29th of August and we're going on holiday tomorrow, and I was really desperate to finish spinning this bunch of fibre that I've been working on since beginning of June, I think it is. I haven't gone back and looked over everything I filmed for this vlog, so I don't know how cohesive it's going to be, but I've been for a massage today, so I'm a bit greasy. I did just quickly put a powder brush on my face and my hair's a bit greasy and I'm really tired. It is nearly 9 o'clock at night. I have just finished spinning this fibre. I was desperate to finish it. I really wanted to finish plying it as well before we go away, but I've had a few deadlines and a lot of other stuff going on, so I just haven't had time since I managed to get my wheel fixed. So I have finished spinning it, and when I get back from Norway I will ply it. So you will see that in the next vlog, but this is the first bobbin. I think this is better spun, more evenly spun, because I spun all that like in one fairly short period of time in May maybe. And this is the second bobbin. And I was spinning this afternoon and I was desperate to try and get it finished. Then we had tea, we had fish and chips tonight, my father-in-law was there, so I didn't feel like I could spin after that because my wheel is still a little bit noisy. So when he left I thought, right, I'm going to try and finish, see if I can finish this tonight and come upstairs and just finish this vlog very quickly. And then my wheel started playing up again and it just wouldn't, the wheel wouldn't go around. The treadling was just very clunky and it just wasn't driving the wheel around. And I realized that there was a bit that I'd loosened to change the drive band that I obviously tightened to the best of my ability, but it wasn't tight enough. So I tightened that up again and then it was fine. So all done. I'm going to ply it when we come back from Norway in September, and that will be in the next spinning vlog. I hope you have enjoyed this rather frustrating spinning vlog. I haven't watched back the first bit I filmed, but I guess I started it in June. I can't remember if it was before we went on holiday or after we went on holiday. I'd hoped to finish this in July. This was my goal, to finish it for Tour de Fleece, which takes place during Tour de France in July. And obviously because I had problems with my wheel, that didn't happen. And then once I got my wheel fixed, I've just been really busy. So it's been frustrating, but hopefully when I get back from Norway, I can get back into spinning again. I will miss my local spinning group in September and in October, because for the October one, I think I'm teaching. So I will miss the next 2 months of spinning group. No, I won't. I will miss the September one. I will be able to hopefully attend the October one. I'm not teaching that weekend. And then I will miss the November one because I'm going back to Norway. So, but anyway, I think I was saying about that earlier in the video. So, right, I'm not going to carry on just ranting, but these are my bobbins. Very happy I finished it, and I will see you in the next spinning vlog for how I get on plying these. Plying is something I do struggle with quite a lot, knowing how much twist to put into it. And the last skein I applied back in April, May, when I first got back into spinning after this long 10-year break I've had, I was not happy with it. It was just way underplied. So, but because it was just a little partial practice skein, I didn't bother doing anything with this. This one, if I underply it, I will run it through the wheel again, because I love these colours and I would like it to turn into a workable yarn if I can. That's it for today. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed this vlog, even if it's a bit chaotic at times. If you spin, have you had frustrations and problems with your wheel, all that kind of stuff? If you spin, I'm sure you probably have, unless you're a lot more experienced than me. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. I will see you next time. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. Happy spinning.